Hello, morning everyone. I am popping on a little bit early today just because, well, I was ready to go and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to get started. Plus, I can say hi to those who are here. So yeah, I think it was a few months ago, gosh, it could have even been a year ago, that I had split a page in half and compared Albrecht Dürer to Supercolor. And so I thought I would do that again. For my watercolor pencil comparisons, I've been using Johanna Basford books just for the sake of consistency other than anything else. So today I am going to be splitting this one down the middle, and we're going to compare Castle Arts to Arteza. I did put up a little poll the other day, just kind of seeing, who would be more interested in what. And while I couldn't wait for the final results, Arteza and Castle Art comparison was pretty much the winner. In fact, I should look and see what that poll ended up being, because I had a couple options in the poll, but they were like already off to a good start. But let's see. Yeah, so after 381 votes, Castle Art and Arteza were basically the highest, if you can see there. But Brunzil and Lyra were actually not too far behind. I was surprised that the Stedler ones weren't up there, or Crayola. I did see a comment to see Castle Art versus Color, which I can definitely do. But today we're going to just focus on Castle Art and Arteza. So before we get into this, hi Melissa and Ashley. So before I get into the page and whatnot, I'll show you the two sets I do have that we're using today. So this is the Castle Art set, which came in 72 colors. Everything is linked in the description below, and then Nightbot will gladly remind you. I bought this set that came in the case just because, honestly, it was a really good price and it was a free case. So here are the Castle Art ones that we'll be using today. And then I have my Arteza watercolor pencils here. I've actually had these for a while, to be honest. A few years. They were one of the first watercolor pencils I ever bought. So we'll be using those. Now I have the 120 Artezas, while I only have the 72 count Castle Art. I had bought the Artezas back because I was like, oh, I'm going to use these a lot. Whereas the Castle Arts I had purchased for the battles. And this was all before I ever encountered the beautiful Albrecht Dürers and all the more fancy lines, but I do have them swatched here. So like here's the Castle Art 72 colors we're going to play with today, and then we have the 120 Artezas. I know Arteza looks a little more vibrant in the swatch chart. However, it's a smaller box, less room for the water to dilute as things go by. That said, we're going to see how they perform. There's no way to escape that now, because what I'll be doing, kind of like I did when I did the Supercolor versus the Albrecht Dürer, can't think today. I split a page in half, so we're splitting this one in half. I always try to find a page that just makes logical sense to split, so that's why I went with this one. And I'll try to pick out similar colors on each side so that we can do a good comparison. Hi, Silverleaf. And oh, Erica. Hi, Erica. I keep meaning to call you. I will call you. I promise. So yeah, I always try to find a page that's kind of symmetrical so that I can split them down. And this one is perfect. Originally, I was just going to use my Pentel water brushes, but all my water brushes have kind of gone all over the place. I really need to organize my art studio. It's a hot mess right now. So I'm going to use a combo. I've got my Derwent, I've got my Kuretake, which is like a medium size, and I've got my Pentel here. I might end up using the Derwent more than anything else. But yeah, so I have kind of a mixture of water brushes. So I think, let's see, what can we do here? I'll zoom you guys in a bit. Like I have no desk space, yet I do. I do also have a little plastic sheet behind here, just protecting my pages. This one, by the way, was done with ink tints like years ago. Literally years ago. Let's see if I can't get back to my zoom. So let me zoom us in so we can actually see the colors a wee bit better. I'm not drawing a line physically down the page because my goal is to have this, a completed page. Oh, having two sets of pencils open at once. This will be interesting. So let me just move my swatch charts. I have a bunch of watercolor, like actual watercolor stuff all over the place. So we'll do this side as Arteza. I need a pencil or a pen. That'll work. Okay. So this is going to be Arteza. Don't know if that even shows up for you guys. This is going to be Castle Arts. Okay. And then we will see how it goes. Let's see. Hi to everyone I might have missed. Sorry. I was a little busy. Can you send something big to my P.O. box? Yes, I actually do have a larger P.O. box. And even if it doesn't fit, I'm at the post office Monday, Wednesday, Friday, dropping off for Etsy. So what they'll do is, if it's too big for some reason, they'll leave me a note and I'll just grab it from the front desk. So yeah, you can send something big. Ooh, what are you sending me? I'm kind of curious. Swatching while I'm coloring. I love swatching. I have a ton of pencils, by the way, to swatch that I've been collecting and ignoring. All right, so let's get started because we're going to be here a bit. So we're doing 50-50 down the middle. I'm even going to cut these little leaves right in half. And yeah, do my best to not, I don't know. I don't want to draw a line, so we're going to do our best to make it work. But I want to start with these leaves. We'll start with these big fluffy ones and work our way down. All right, so we've got our Arteza and our Castle Arts. Now, again, I'm going to have more colors with Arteza just because I have the 120 set, but that's not a big deal. I have a video on my channel actually showing you how you could just buy 12 pencils and make whatever the heck you want. I just purely bought for convenience. I want this to be super bright. It's a freaking jungle page. So let's go with... They have something. Okay, let me grab my Artezas first. I wish I would have pre-picked some, but I had only picked this page at 9 o'clock last night. Okay, so we're going to grab apple. And like I said, I'm going to try and get colors pretty close to one another for comparison's sake, but there will be some slight differences. So apple, lime, that would be a good one. For that first set, maybe even add in a yellow. Let's see if they have good yellows over here though. Let's see, because their leaf looks like my lime. I'm half talking to you, half talking to myself, sorry. Let's start with those two. And then, okay, so the Castle Art side, I just need to find something that's apple-ish. Probably this Castle Art green light. Oh, I forgot these aren't in order. That's going to make this an adventure. All right, Castle Art green light. Where are you? Is it number 58? Nope. I need number 50. Okay, so I got that one. And I'm going to say this leaf light is probably the closest to my lime. Close enough. I'm not going to get exact matches here, but we're gonna do our best. So let's start with those two and then just keep working our way down. I'm going to have to sharpen though because these look a little oof. pencil case. Cool. Love to see it. If anyone has emailed me, I have been way behind. For some reason, all my Etsy emails overtook my inbox, despite the fact that I had purposely pushed them to their own folder. So my email inbox got a little bit... So I'm catching up on emails. So if anyone has emailed me, I will get back to you. All right, so let's get started. Like I said, I'm going to do my best to match them as perfectly as I can, kind of like I did with the Super Color and Albrecht Dürer, but hey, can only do it so well. So the Arteza, like I said, I had bought the 120 set because they were the first watercolor pencil I had bought. Actually, I might have bought a cheap set in there somewhere before them. But I was like, oh, this will be fun for backgrounds. I'd actually bought them for backgrounds, thinking it would help make backgrounds. And nope, they did not help me do backgrounds well at all. In fact, I hate them for backgrounds. But that's why I have the 120 set. Whereas with Castle Art, I had bought those specifically for the watercolor pencil battle. And now that I'm out of work, I have time to actually finish the watercolor pencil battle. So look at me. Free time. But we'll see how these blend out. I'm leaving a little bit of white space. And like I said, I want this really bright. Bright greens, bright colors. Might even make purple and pink leaves. I don't care. Since I do have 120 versus 72 colors. It's more so just to see them side by side in terms of like vibrancy and how they just look on the page. So don't focus solely on the color matching. It's more so, hey, what looks prettier? Hi to everyone coming in. Am I going to look for another job? No, actually I am not. My husband and I had a very long conversation about it. I've decided to just start working on my Etsy store again. I had kind of pulled it back because of that one job I had. So now I'm just going back and trying to rebuild it, which sucks, but is what it is. But also I am going to work on my novel. We had a long conversation about it, and I said I really want to just work on my novel. So that's what I'm going to do. Work on my books and my Etsy, and yeah. And make videos for a little while, and then we'll go from there. We may be selling our house soon, but we're waiting for the market to look a lot better, because right now anyone who wants to sell a house basically has to take a massive loss, and I refuse to do that. So yes, I know I need to call you. I will call you. I will. I keep telling myself, I'm going to call her today. By the way, did no one notice that I accidentally put my Arteza over here? Hey, by the way, lesson number 1, you can indeed erase your watercolor pencils as long as you don't activate them. I'm all sitting here and I'm like, why does this green look the same? All right, I had 1 cup of coffee today. So let's put the Castle Art color down. Castle Art is black barreled. So if you see me using any colored barrel over here, someone yell at me. It's right, it's early. New day. All right. I was sitting here. I'm going to keep the pencils on each side of their own side of the desk. Then that won't happen again. I didn't notice either. I was just like rambling on and coloring, and then I'm like, oh crap. In case you're curious, they are erasable until you activate them, and then not so much. It's all right though. Yes, there's a tiny bit of green left, but that's not going to activate. That's just stuck on the paper. What's going to activate is this color I'm putting on top of it. If you do erase, oh man, this thing is scratchy as all scratchiness can be. If you do erase anything you're going to put watercolor pencils down or ink tints or any water soluble, be really careful, because you don't want to, first of all, create any grooves in your paper. Your pencils won't dissolve properly and you'll leave a bunch of lines. But also, if you damage the paper, it might start to pill on you, which is not fun. But yeah, for now, no plans to job hunt. Just gonna do what I'm doing. See where that goes. I will call you this week, Erica. I promise. This past week was just a little crazy. I was organizing my wax studio room again, and I had to get the limited box that comes out tomorrow all situated. I had to get the limited box for whatchamacallit, the diamond painting stuff, but also the limited box for the wax melt. So that was just all a little bit chaotic, but it releases tomorrow, and I think I'm ready now. We'll see. These might actually come out closer than I thought. Never judge a color by its swatch only. I will say the Castle Arts are a lot scratchier already, just laying them down. But it's funny because the Arteza pencils, I actually had them in my list of regrets. Not the watercolor ones. I haven't played with those enough to regret them. But I mentioned how they're kind of like crayon-like and waxy. It's funny because their watercolor pencils actually lay down nicer than their actual pencils. Oh, I wouldn't be selling my house because I lost my job. We've just thought about selling it because of, well, to be quite honest, I've decided that my kids need to live in a smaller house. We had bought this and I was like, oh, this will be my forever home. But then I was like, we don't need this big house forever. Like when my kids move out and my husband and I retire, we don't need a 7-bedroom house. What are we going to do with that? But also, like, my kids don't ever clean. They don't even know what it's like to share a bedroom. And I've just noticed they don't respect the space. So really the reason I wanted to sell it and just take all my equity and buy something small is because, well, I'm tired of cleaning this thing. Tired of paying the property tax too. Ooh. I do love my house. It's just, yeah, there's reasons, but it doesn't have anything to do with my job. I'm sure that'll eventually become one of the reasons, but right now that wasn't the reason. It was actually my kids refusing to clean one day that ticked me off enough to the point where I called my agent and was like, how much would my house sell for if I listed it right now? So I was really gung-ho on selling it that day. The high school actually doesn't bug me, other than the fact that, yes, the high school is very, very ugly. Oh my gosh, it's even uglier. I wonder if I can. Okay. If anyone gets dizzy, can you close your eyes for a second and I'll tell you when to open. But I'm going to gently move my camera. Oh, I wish I could. Let's see. All right, now you can look. See how ugly that is? It's orange, it's brown, it's huge. It just goes on and on and on and on. Oh, all right, now I'm going to put my camera back up. This is interesting, maneuvering your camera during a live stream. Always an adventure. But yeah, it is ugly. I'm not going to lie to you there. But that is not the reason I'm selling. Like, yeah, the orange... Oh, I need to take a picture of it because this camera doesn't do it justice. That orange is just, it's getting worse. The more panels they keep adding, because they got this like zebra printed wood paneling on the front. And then they started adding the orange panel. And I was like, what? No, it looked decent till y'all put that up. But now they're doing all the parking lots. So I just see a sea of asphalt out there, which by the way is glorious to look at. But no, the high school is ugly, but that's not really the reason I want to sell. In all honesty, I kind of like the idea my son can just go across the street, especially with sports. There's like it's just, okay, see ya, have a good day. You can't come home for lunch because I'm not feeding you and all your teenage friends, but have fun. So it doesn't actually bug me much. And plus, we never bought the house for the view across the street, if I'm being completely honest. That was a field and it was pretty, but my backyard's view is the real reason we had bought it. Okay, so let's get on to a next set of leaves. Debating here how I want to do this. Oh no, it's not further away. It is literally right there. I could throw a rock at it. I would get in trouble, but I could throw a rock at it. It is the grossest thing I've ever encountered. It just gets uglier too. There's no escaping it. You can't escape it. It's right there. All right. I am liking, let's see. I think I'm going to do some blue, maybe. We'll see. Got a lot of opportunities here. The only bummer is like the 72 count doesn't have as many greens as this 20 count. The 120 has quite a few greens. So I'm just I'm going off of the 72 count first and then kind of going from there. Actually, you know what? Let's do, I'm going to grab the juniper, wherever that is. Okay. Got my juniper. And maybe this. Hoping this will be light enough. Okay, so I'm going to grab that leaf one again. For Castle Green light. And I just need. Man, I really don't like the greens of the Castle Arts, if I'm being completely honest. They're kind of icky. And then I like a teal set, so I'm going to grab a few more things just so I don't keep going back and forth. I think I'm going to grab this primary blue. Where did that one go? Are these even in order? Cornflower. Okay, primary. And then teal. Okay, so I got those. And I'm doing small blending sets, just usually 2 or 3 colors. And that's just because I'm trying to get as close to colors as I can. And the more I add, the harder that's going to be. So if you're curious. All right, primary blue. Ooh, this is going to get a little hairy. Because they have a lot better blues too. So I'm going to go with probably the Mykonos one. Okay. And then let's see, teal is pretty close to, let's say this robin. Yeah, I would say robin's egg. Okay. And I just gotta get one more set and then I can do some more coloring. Okay, so they're juniper. Where did that one go? It's like a really nice dark green-ish. I think I'm gonna go with, ooh, this is a hard one. Trying to match them as close as possible. Got that one out. I think I'm gonna go with probably the mint. Right, we'll see how these work. Actually, I think, yeah, let's go that way and we'll keep going. We'll just keep going. Have fun at the park. I hope that the weather's good there. The old high school is staying open. It's just any kids that were, what's the word I'm looking for? So basically the area has just expanded too much. So like all the kids in this area were pushed into that old high school, but it can't fit us all. So that's why they've built the new one and then basically changed up the boundaries. But the old high school is staying open. All right, we're going to try this little blue combo here. So yeah, old one's staying open. And in fact, if you're like currently on one of their teams for sports, you have the option of not going to the new school, even though the boundaries have changed. And I was kind of surprised a lot of students decided to stay at the old school. Whereas I was like, okay, I would still go to the new school, but whatever. The only ones that don't get a choice are people who are freshmen right now. Because out here, high school, your freshman year is at the junior high. I don't understand why, because to play high school sports, you then have to drive to the high school to play on that team, even though you would take all your classes at the junior high. It's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But yeah, so like he's a freshman, he'll be a sophomore, but he doesn't get a choice. So he has to go to the new school no matter what. And he would anyway, because I'd be like, well, there's no bus. He doesn't get his license till after the school starts, and I'm not driving to the other high school. Heck no. So yeah, I was pretty surprised a lot of kids didn't want to go to the new one. I mean, it's hideous. I wouldn't want to walk into that thing, but it is all fancy schmancy, state of the art. It's got its own swimming pool complex, funded by me and my neighbors, I'm sure. The more they build it, the more ridiculous it gets in size. But I'm just like, okay, whatever. I guess just keep adding to it. But supposedly it's supposed to be like super high tech. It has a major like sports facility, including its own golf course, for Pete's sake. It's one of the few high schools that'll have its own soccer field. Usually high schools just use the football field, but this one has its own soccer field, tennis court. It's ridiculous. It might as well be its own little city over there. But it's bigger than half the college campuses out here. So I don't know how many students are actually going to show up, and then it's all like digital and high tech, and like the classrooms are insane. I don't know. We're supposed to be able to tour it in end of July. So, and then my daughter's going to the new junior high that's not too far away that they're building as well. And then my youngest daughter is going to the new elementary school. So all my kids are going to brand new schools. So that'll be interesting. I mean, technically, yeah, the schools would be rivals. I don't know, though, because sports are divided into divisions, and with this being a new school, I don't know how the division system works when it's a brand new school and they haven't competed in any sports. So I'm not totally sure on that front, but in a way, yes, I guess they'd be rivals no matter what. So one thing I will tell you, like laying these down on paper, especially this smooth Johanna Basford loveliness paper, the Castle Arts are scratchy as hell, where the Arteza are not. I'll be completely honest with you. The Arteza colored pencils themselves are too waxy and crayon-like. I swear they smell like crayons to me. These are actually nicer to put down on paper, and you can use these dry. So if you really want Artezas, I would almost say buy these. You'll have to layer a bit, because they're not going to be all smushable like the other Artezas, but you would have the option of using them wet or dry, and they're pleasant to put down while dry, whereas these Castle Arts are making my ears hurt. I hate the sound of scratchy paper. Ugh, it does things. Okay. Let's see. So out here in our county, there's a ton of high schools. But this is also Utah. And people here like to have a lot of kids. People look at us and they're like, you only have 3? And I'm like, only? I'm pretty sure 3 is a a pretty hefty number. It's just funny how it works out here. Gotta love it. All right, let's get these activated. I may go back and add some light purple and stuff, but right now I'm just getting down some colors, playing around, because like I said, I didn't really plan anything out. I picked this page last night so that I could create the thumbnail. And then I was like, well, oh crap, it's 9:20. I gotta go stream. So pre-planning did not happen. But I will add more layers if I need to after I get some base colors down. Just kind of see how these look. I did see the request for Korilynn Watercolor Pencils versus, oh crap, it was either Arteza or Castle Art, one of the two. That is in the list. It's just last night I looked down at my pile and Castle Art and Arteza kind of just stood out. I was like, yeah, those work. Let's see. Yeah, and they might do it based on number of students here too. I remembered someone saying that it was a, shoot, what did they call the school? When it was ranked, it's like the way they rank schools based on the size of the school and the number of students, and then the sports facilities available. And I forget what the terminology was, but it's one of the highest ranking you can receive because of all the crap they're putting in there. But yeah, I don't know if that plays a role when it comes to sport rivalries or not. I'm not quite sure. This is my first experience dealing with this kind of thing. Yes, I do stream every Sunday. I took a break for a few months though. Only just started getting back to my schedule. But every Sunday, unless there's a major holiday. I didn't stream on Father's Day. Not that my husband would have cared, but it was more woke up early to make him breakfast and I just didn't feel like doing anything. All right. And then, yeah, it's always the same time. Always the same time. Let's work on... Okay, so those are my teals. I'm going to try this set of greens down here on these little leaves. I'll definitely probably go and add a little bit of purple here, I'm thinking, but let's try this first. Yeah, so it's always 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, noon Eastern Time when I stream. I used to do it back in the day at 9, or was it 11? Man, I can't remember. One of those two, and then I decided it didn't work for me. One was too late, one was too early. 10 works. Plus then those Pacific Coast time, it's 9 a.m. Drink your coffee, hang out with me, lurk in the shadows. Okay, then we got this little lime green here. I do kind of wish I had the 120 count set so I would be able to match a few more colors, but once I start getting into the purples and pinks, I'll have more options. It's just green wise, there's way more greens available in my Arteza set, but again, I have 120 Artezas, so just something to keep in mind there. All right. So far, the colors are actually matching pretty close. I'm glad I didn't go with the other blue. Now these green ones here, I have a feeling this might not match as well. This one's going to be a titch darker. These really are scratchy. I even sharpened them. Ugh. I mean, I have a few watercolor pencil sets that are scratchy, so it's not unusual, but not my more expensive ones. I'm talking like budgety ones, although Castle Art keeps raising their prices, so it's really hard to call them budget anything. They need to lower their prices. Lower their prices or increase quality. So I laugh every time I see their prices go up. I'm like, but what? All right, let's see how these ones work. Just kind of spread that around. Be fun to compare. I did start working on the brackets for the watercolor pencil comparisons. So I actually have my brackets made. I'll put that up. I might tweak it a little bit, but yeah, I have my brackets of basically how little battles will go down. And I'll still compare, like, because say I did this comparison of these two brands, right? And Arteza won. Well, I'm not going to totally axe Castle Art. It'll still get compared against others in the same category until it's basically eliminated, if it is, or if something else gets eliminated. Like, I'll make sure that they're compared against multiples. It's not just like, oh, well, that one sucked. Yeah, that one turned out a little darker. Okay, for these leaves here, I want to do something a wee bit more bright. Watercolor crayons, I already did a battle on. They're already on my channel. I did a battle against several brands of watercolor crayons. So you can actually look that one up if you want to see how those turned out. But yeah, those ones I've already done a battle on and come out with winners, including some rather surprising winners, if I'm completely honest with you. So you should watch it because you might be surprised at some of the ones that won that one. I was like, huh, didn't see that coming. And yes, I do have an older daughter. She will be turning 22 this August, if that doesn't show my age. Right, I want more tealish and some pink here in the center. But yeah, my older daughter is turning 22 this year. It's just nuts. I think I'm gonna go with, actually no, a purple transitioning into a teal. Yep, that's what we're doing. So I need my jade, wherever that one's hiding. Kind of be over here somewhere. That's, my Castle Arts aren't in order, so that's not going to make this very easy. Okay, so I got my jade. And then I'm going to set up purple, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Hooker's green, I guess, is the next closest one I can get. All right. And then I'm almost not liking that plan now. Okay. Let's see. Grab some of my purple colors too, so I don't have to keep opening this up. But let's get Purple Lake Deep. The Castle Art watercolor pencils do have the same names as their premium soft touch ones, in case you were curious. I'll do lavender because that looks kind of pretty. And I need a very soft pink. Ooh, it's hard to say. Kind of like the flesh one, but also, no, I'm going to do the Violet Lake light. Wherever that's hiding. Okay. Get those colors out. I'm just going to get more. Let's see. What do you mean by doing different books, Wilcox Mama? Let's see. Am I going to compare these to higher end brands? Yes. These will be compared to like Albrecht Dürer, Supracolor. I am not going to compare them to Museum Aquarelle because that would be a really dumb comparison. And by that I mean it would just not be worth the time. They're just way two different classes of pencils. So they won't go against that, but they will be compared to other ones for sure. But I'm also going to keep things kind of within their category as well. But I will compare like budget starter ones to more higher end ones for those who are like, oh, I don't know if I want to spend that much money. You know, that type of deal. I think I'm going to go, it's hard to say. I'm going to try this lighter purple and see, and hope I don't regret this choice. Where the heck is that purple? Oh, it's going to be there. And then I need, what color was this one? Violet Lake Deep, or Violet Lake Light. So the closest thing I got to that might be my lilac color. Okay, so I got that one. And let's figure if I grab sections at a time. It's interesting because the Castle Art Hooker's green is very teal. Like it's not even a real Hooker's green. Kind of weird. So I have to be similar to that, which it looks like might be. Yeah, these aren't going to match up quite the same. That's fine. I'll go with my jade. And then shamrock. And then let's see. They both have a creamy color. We'll leave it at those two for now. Okay. Sorry, you'll have to keep hearing me sharpen the Castle Arts, but it's because they haven't been sharpened and they need it super bad, like ridiculous. Hi, Sue, and anyone I missed. I saw a question, and I missed it. Sorry. Are you going to compare the Albrecht Dürer in the current? Yeah, I will compare the Albrecht Dürer and Supracolor and the more artist grade ones to the Museum Aquarelles. However, I'm going to have a huge monster disclaimer on that because Museum Aquarelles are honestly a class of their own watercolor pencil. They're extremely light fast. Nothing's going to compare, but also the opacity and the amount of pigment payout. It's kind of a thing that I'll do a comparison, but I'm going to compare more on different factors when I do those ones. It's kind of hard to explain, but if I were to compare them just side by side like I do everything else, it would be an unfair comparison just because of performance and whatnot. But yes, pretty much every pencil will be compared in some way or another to another. In fact, even Castle Arts will go up against Crayola. So everything's going to compare out. But because I have, what was it, like 20 or 30 brands of watercolor pencils, the battles won't be as, I don't even know how to word it. they'll be a little different than how I did the battles for the watercolor crayons, just because I do have to change it up a bit. But yeah, you'll see. It's taken a lot of time to think it out of how I was going to do this, because, well, when you have a bunch of different brands and different like price points, and some are student grades, some are just no-name pencils, you have to be kind of careful how you compare them and then branch them against one another. And then in the end, I'll basically do just like I did with my watercolor crayons. I'll have a best budget winner, like I'll have my category for best student grade, best artist grade, the surprise ones, because I did that in my watercolor crayon one, because there was brands that like honestly shocked the crap out of me and just really needed an honorable mention, because I was like, what the heck? It should not have performed that well. So there'll be things like that. But yeah, it just takes a little bit more creativity when I'm creating like brackets and pitting them against each other. But yes, things like Arteza and Castle Art will still go up against the higher end pencils and see how they compare. Is it worth going for the budget one versus spending extra on the more expensive one, and yada yada. Hi, Mona and Sue and Johanna, if I didn't say hi. And Topeka, I don't think I said hi. It's hard when I'm looking down. I took a, 3-month break, 4-month break from streaming. I can't remember now. But believe it or not, it's not like riding a bike. It takes a little bit to get back into the motion. All right. I am going to buy a new streaming camera here soon. This one's driving me bonkers, just because we have such a fluctuation in light, and when I have the auto adjust mode on, it just does not auto adjust very well. Okay, yeah, see, again, Castle Arts, oh, so scratchy, so scratchy. Might as well just run your nails across the chalkboard for me right now. I'm even trying to like twist the pencil and turn until I find a spot that's not scratchy on the lead, and there isn't one. So yeah, man, those are brutal. All right. Uh, 72 Museum, isn't it 72 Museum Aquarels? I swear it's 72. Hang on. I have it right here. Let just look. I swear it's 72. See, all these are pencils that we'll be comparing. Did I say 76? I think, okay. Oh, that's right. They had some weird county thing, but not all of them were actually watercolor pencils. But yeah, I have this entire thing of swatch charts. See how thick that is? Those are all watercolor pencils that will be competing against one another. There's a lot. And I have a few sets that I still haven't swatched. So, yeah. Hi, Emily. I do have the T8i. I just haven't set it up. Maybe you and I could do a video call and you can teach me how to set it up. Because it's just sitting there in my closet. I take it out for photos. But yeah, I haven't used it for streaming yet. I do need to get a different overhead setup though before I go put that bad boy and let it just dangle over my desk. But I've been eyeing them because the way my desk is set right now, it shakes on this carpet. So I have to get one of those systems that basically set on either side of my desk, but don't actually sit on the desk, and then suspend the camera over it. But yeah, I do need to get that set up. I do have it. I just haven't set it up for this. I want to. I think I got that last Christmas or the Christmas before. Oh, this one's really scratchy. Ugh. Oh, it's killing me. And these Castle Art ones, by the way, are pretty dusty. It's kind of grungy. Okay. To the glide gear. That's the exactly what I was gonna buy is the glide gear. Because they have that extender, so I can put it on either side of my desk. Because they had the one that goes on the desk, but that won't work because, like I said, everything shakes on the carpet. So I looked at the one that went on the floor, and I am buying that with the sandbags and everything because I'm not about to risk having that thing just fall over. But yeah, I do plan to get glide gear. That was on my list. All right, now I gotta split this one in half between two different colors. Do you have the glide gear? Is that like what you're using? Because that's the one I've been eyeing. Heard a lot of good things about it. All right, so this side's gonna be, this side's gonna be Castle Art on this little leaf. This will be fun, just combining two different colors, or brands, I mean. But yeah, the glide gear looked really cool because your camera just slides and you can move it up and down. I mean, it's expensive as all heck, but whatever. Oh my gosh, this pencil in particular is so scratchy. It's like literally making my spine tingle. Ah. Okay, so you have the desk one. Yeah, so I looked at the desk one, but I definitely need the one that goes on either side. So it has that extender kit, and that's the one I'll have to get. So it'll sit on either side of my carpet because I have no intention of moving my art studio anytime soon, nor do I plan to pull the carpet out until it's falling apart. So got to work around the carpet. Though it is ridiculous to have an art studio and a room of carpet, but whatever. I live dangerously. Yeah, they are expensive. I was looking at the price and I was like, so well, let's see. Maybe in a year or 3. But they are worth it. And I'm in no rush. I just have to deal with this Logitech for a little bit. It's not like a Logitech is horrible. It's just this one doesn't like to auto adjust very well. Or it overcompensates. So that's why I tend to be like, okay, after the stream, I'll take a picture so you can see what it really looks like. Okay, so now we're going to do the Arteza side of this same little leaf. With how scratchy the Castle Art is, and then going over to the Artezas that are softer, it's like, so nice. I'm not gonna lie to you there. These just lay down a lot smoother. The Castle Art are just, ugh, so scratchy. Okay. Kind of think it's fun to take these symmetrical pictures and then split them in half and use them as a way to do a side-by-side comparison. It's kind of fun. Just because you can really see the differences in like the color performance, you know? It's different than just showing you a swatch chart or something. You're like literally looking at how the color performed side by side on the exact same elements. I'm coloring the same leaves. So there's no like nothing different here. All right. No, I used Arteza right here because the page just splits right here. So Castle Art here, Arteza here. So this leaf is literally split in half by both brands. Let's see. Hi, Renee. And again, anyone I missed? Oh, no, you're fine. It probably just looked black because it was so dark, but it wasn't Arteza. I'm not using a ton of water. Even though Johanna's books take water really well, I just don't want to get too much buckling. I could like iron it out or flatten it out. Like I said, my favorite way to flatten a page is to put dumbbells on it because that is literally the most action my dumbbells get. Oh, those poor things. Every time I look at them, I'm like, I'm going to work out. And not. In fact, my kids use my gym more than I do, which is good because someone's using it, but still, I should probably, I don't know, get down there. I got the free time now, and so I got no excuses. I'm not in like 20 meetings a week. I'm just scumbling. Ooh, vacation. Where'd you go on vacation? I haven't been popping into anyone's live streams lately. I feel so bad. If I do, I just lurk. But it's usually because I'm like pouring wax melts now, so I just like lurk in the shadows. My tablet playing the live stream while I mix up wax melts. Never in my life did I think that would be what I said I was doing on a Monday, but that's usually how it is. Lurking and wax melt making, yeah. Again, two things never thought I'd say. And I literally am in the shadows because my wax melt studio is in my basement, like in the unfinished area, in a big concrete room. Yes, this is a watercolor pencil comparison. Today we're just doing a fun little battle. Half the page is going to be done in Arteza watercolor pencils. The other half of the page will be done in Castle Arts Watercolor Pencils. And then I'll do their official battle review in a different video this week. This is just part of the battle process, is using them and then comparing them. So, because I always have to have a colored page to do a review. And now I'll have the 2 pages done technically, even though it's split in half. Dropped my water brush. Yeah, they actually do look pretty similar in color. I'll take a photo after, but for the most part, I've been able to match the colors pretty well, which is nice because when you're pulling colors, you're like, that's not going to look right. But it's working so far. When it comes to performance and like lay down, so far the Arteza are a lot nicer to lay down on the paper than the Castle Art. The Castle Art are very scratchy. But they're both dissolving really nice on the paper, which is good because nobody likes to see pencil marks. And the colors are pretty nice. Granted, they get lighter, you know. This isn't going to be vibrant like Inktense. They are going to lighten up. Watercolor effect and all. However, if you wanted them to be more vibrant, you could do an extra layer or two once the paper's fully dry. Don't try to put it down while it's still wet. One, it's going to screw with your pencil. And two, you're just going to ask for your paper to start peeling on you. But I mean, if you want really vibrant colors after activating, I would just use ink tints, which are not a watercolor pencil. They will not be in the battle. I say that every time, just in case there's someone new. All right. Yeah, they were pretty, the colors came out pretty close, especially like with this one split down the middle. So that's not bad. I'll have to take a look at the your new art studio. I need to clean my art studio really, really badly. It's a nightmare. I just have piles of stuff everywhere. And every time I walk in here, like, I'm going to clean it, I look at the piles and run away. So it's on my to-do list. All right. This particular pencil color from Arteza is actually a wee bit scratchy. Not as anywhere near like the Castle Arts, though. Just point that part out. Make that abundantly clear. Ooh, a double page in Symphony of Cute Animals. Those those pages are pretty complex, time-consuming, intimidating. There's a few I was like, oh, I want to color this, and then I was like, I don't think I can dedicate myself to this page. But yeah, that would be a good one to finish. They're really cute pages. I wanted to use some of their fall pages. I don't know. Sometimes when there's a very complicated double page spread, I'm just like, no, I don't want to. Yeah, so Castle Art is on the right, Arteza to the left. I kind of kept it alphabetized also, in a way. Granted, if you were here at the start, I accidentally used Arteza on the Castle Art side, but I hadn't activated them, so I was able to erase them. But luckily, there wasn't enough people here to witness that. Oops, my little plastic sheet is sliding. Okay. The Castle Arts are dusty, though. Like, I get little dust all around here. It's almost like you need to brush before you activate them, because you don't want to accidentally pick up that dust. I wouldn't say Arteza are less pigmented. It's more of a, I'm doing my best to find colors that match exactly, but yeah, we'll see how the whole page goes first. But I mean, like when it comes up here to these colors, they're pretty close to one another. These ones here, I just couldn't find an exact like middle ground because I have 120 Artezas, which are here, Castle Art. So not as much when I'm looking to find like ones that'll go together. Okay, I'm going to keep some of these greens out. Which one was this again? This is my jade. Okay, so I'm going to leave. Okay. So let's see. I want to get these leaves done. Maybe bring some more. In fact, I might use my purples, but add just one more pink to each. So I got my Violet Lake. Should I add? I'm going to add like a peachy color at the end of it. So let's see. Probably going to have to use Flesh from this one. So it's the closest thing I've got. Okay. And then closest thing over here would probably be Peaches and Cream. Okay. Just have to sharpen the Castle Art. These ones are nice and fun to compare. It'll be interesting though, like when I put them on my actual testing sheet, because the testing sheet does tell you a lot too. But we'll see how that goes. All right, so I'm going to make these kind of a mishmash of these purple and pinks and peachy colors. But yeah, I mean, color-wise and performance-wise, like I said, they're pretty close. But the laydown is where there's a significant difference right now. Like the way these Artezas lay down are very smooth, while the Castle Arts are honestly making my jaw clench. It's too scratchy. It's hurting me. And I mean, Johanna's paper is soft, so a lot of pencils can be scratchy on it, but wowza. Okay. No, I don't have to press hard on either of these. I'm actually pressing light. I don't press hard with any water-soluble medium because if you press too hard, you might not get it to dissolve fully and it'll leave lines on your pages, especially if you scratch the paper with it. So I always use light pressure regardless of brand. So they're all being put down pretty light. If I want to deepen the color, I can always go back and add another layer. But yeah, no heavy pressure here, which is not, or I mean, which is really unlike my normal coloring style. But like I said, if you scratch it into the paper, it's not going to dissolve. It's going to leave you with some lovely looking lines. All right, and I got my little peachy color. I'm gonna add in just here and there. Then of course, if you're ever activating water-soluble anything, go light to dark. Otherwise, your dark color is just gonna swash right over and wash it over. And then of course, if you're doing some wacky color combos, remember the color wheel and color mixing, unless you enjoy muddy, murky colors. All right, and I think I'm going to take maybe this one. And we have like crazy clouds today. 1 minute it's cloudy, next minute it's sunny. It's also supposed to be like 90 today, I think. I don't know. Basically from June till August, I refuse to go outside. I don't know about you guys, but anything over 85 and I'm just like, yeah, I'm good. I'm going to stay in the air conditioning, thanks. Okay. And then I'm going to go back to my greens here. And I guess next week is 4th of July. Huh. That kind of crept up on me a little fast. My one daughter's birthday is July 3rd. And she printed out the most hilarious, oh my gosh, her birthday list. Just, I'm still laughing about it, to be honest. So it was Taylor Swift keychains. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently Taylor Swift keychains are in fact a thing. So she wanted Taylor Swift keychains. And then her biggest request was that her brother move to the basement so that she can have the room, his room, that has the walk-in closet. It's like, well, that's a pretty easy list. So we're working on moving her brother to the basement, which I was going to do this summer anyways, but still. It's just kind of funny that that was her request. But I mean, like, all three of them are up here and sharing a bathroom. And as they get older, like, my son's shaving and stuff. And my youngest keeps apparently messing with his razor. I don't know. These kids never stop fighting. And in the summer, you're always like, ugh. But yeah, he's just older and needs to have his own bathroom and a little bit of space from his sisters. But he's moving to the basement. But the problem is oh, it's going to be such a nightmare to move them all. It's going to be like musical bedrooms because we have to first move the guest room, which is in the basement, out and over. My husband's man cave then moves into the guest room. And then my son moves into my husband's man cave room. And then my one daughter moves into my son's room. My other daughter moves into my other daughter's room because that room is a lot bigger. Like, my youngest has the smallest bedroom. And then her room becomes the guest room. So, like, how many rooms did I just say we're moving? It's ridiculous. And they're all like, can we get that started now? Like, no. Like, I'm already just dreading the fact that every room I got to not only move furniture, but steam clean carpets and wash walls and, ugh. Like, if you want it moved so badly, you guys get started on it. Every time I look down there, I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. I keep trying to convince my one daughter. I was like, you just want to stay in the smaller room. It's easier to keep clean. You don't want a big room. Neither of them will bite. Hey. But yeah, we do have to get that done this summer. Yeah, when my son gets back, he's off visiting his grandma at the moment, but that was the deal. He had to move all the stuff out of the guest room and vacuum and shampoo all the carpets and wash the walls because it's like the easiest room. My guest room is literally a bed and a nightstand. I by no means fancy because I rarely have guests that need to stay overnight. So that's all it is, but that's the first room he's going to tackle. All right. I like this peachy color. It's kind of nice. Ooh, except for the breakage there. Arteza calls this color peaches and cream, which is a lot cuter. This one's just called flesh, but it's very orangey. Okay, and then let's see. So I need to take my middle purple for this part here. Just kind of play around with that a bit. Ugh, these really are scratchy. My gosh. Oh yes, they're gonna help. I'm not doing it myself. My son had the nerve to ask if he could have the queen bed from the guest room. It's like, no. I'm going to put it in that room where we never have overnight guests and let it collect dust. Because I'm that parent. You enjoy your twin unless he has a massive growth spurt and I'm forced to get him something bigger, which I do fear is happening because he's been eating a lot of food and sleeping a lot. And he's at that age where he's supposed to have that next crazy growth spurt. So I'm like, well, there goes my food. Okay. What does my husband do in his man cave? Well, for those of you who don't know, my husband is a firefighter, so he works long shifts. In fact, he, like a madman, decided to do a 96-hour shift just last week. So he kind of just has his man cave as like his little space of freedom from the chaos. I mean, because we have 3 kids at home who always have friends over. We used to have 4 huskies. We're just down to the 2 now, so that makes our house a little bit less insane. But really, it's just his place to relax. He doesn't have a YouTube channel. He watches mine when he's off. Oops, sorry, my head totally just hit my camera. I thought it was up higher. But yeah, he doesn't have like a YouTube channel or anything like that. He just kind of has his little space, plays his Xbox or whatever men do in their man cave. I don't know. He keeps it clean. That's all I asked. That was my one rule. But yeah, it's just his little space to escape, because when he gets home from like a really long shift, he doesn't necessarily want to go take a nap all the time or sleep, but he just needs some peace and quiet. So, especially after that 96-hour shift he took, which was insane, but hey, whatever. And then with 4th of July coming up, he'll actually have mandatory overtime. They always do, because, you know, there's those lovely people that light their houses on fire with their fireworks. So he'll be doing a 72-hour shift for that one. But since my job went away, he's been kind of taking overtime that he normally wouldn't take. He normally would not work a 96-hour shift. But I did find this really cute diamond painting that's like a firefighter one. Actually, I found 2. So on Diamond Art Club, they have one that's kind of a bunch of flowers and really girly. I was going to do that one and then give it to the station secretary to put in her office, because none of the guys would be caught dead with that in the main room. But then I found this other one that's actually really nice, and it's pretty cheap. And so I'm going to do that one, and they'll hang it up in the hall or something like that. But it's kind of cool that they had those on Diamond Art Club. They have them for doctors and police officers too, not just firefighters. I just happen to only look at the firefighter ones because, well, yeah, biased, I guess. Right. Yeah, it was kind of cute. They had like firefighter diamond paintings. I didn't think they would, just because, well, you know, diamond painting is. I do know men diamond paint, because I actually have a few Etsy customers that are men. But it's not something you see often. But yeah, the one that had all the flowers, I showed my husband. He was like, no one's going to let that be hung up in the hall. So the secretary said she would take it, but they came out with this other one that was just like a pair of boots, their helmet, and flag. Very tame, no flowers. And so that one they'll hang up, but I need to work on both of them. All right. I think I matched those colors pretty good too. I mean, despite the Castle art being so scratchy, it still dissolves well. It's just the lay down is painful. I wish I could find my smaller tipped pentel. I keep losing my pentels, and I went to go link the pentels I use. Excuse me, in the description. Ugh, frog in my throat. I went to go link them, and so I used to buy them in a 3-pack. Now they come in a 4-pack, or at least that's what they had. But it's still like $20. Yeah. But I really want to replace that, and I need to get a new package of the Kuretake ones. And then I also keep meaning to buy the full set of the Derwent ones because I've been told people really like them. I just haven't gotten around to buying them, so I need to. It's on my list. All right, let's see. We can work on our little birdie friends here. So let's start with some oranges and yellows. Ooh, yes. I already like that one right there. I'm just going to find it in this mess. Orange Lake. Perfect. And brilliant yellow. Not that color. Okay. And let's see, we'll do some orange. Let's do some more bright blues. Or even some of these light blues. They have a lot, like this whole range right here is very close to one another. Like, I don't like it. In this 72 count set, I'm just like, I don't really like how you put that together. But let's see. Maybe I'll stick to, yeah, okay, let me grab one more lighter yellow. Where's that other one? Just in case. Then let's get some gray. They don't have a lot of grays to choose from, so I'm just going to have to use this ivory. Which may not look very good, but we're going to try. So ivory. And then let's try their Payne's gray. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. When it comes to the Arteza ones, it'll be a little easier because you get a lot of grays in the 120 set of Artezas, but let's see what's close to their ivory. I guess my ash black will be close. Wherever it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, so my ash black. And then Payne's. I would say that lines up close to their, maybe cloud. No, I'm going to go with shadow. Okay. Now I gotta get my oranges and stuff. Hi, Leanne. Yeah, my excuse me, gosh, my throat. It's the allergies. My Whip and Chats have moved to my diamond painting channel. I actually will be filming one tomorrow. So that's where they'll be. I usually, if I can stop coughing in your ear, I usually try to put them like on a community post saying like, hey, you know, post that. I'm getting better about it. But I haven't filmed one in just a wee bit, but I actually will be filming one tomorrow. So brilliant yellow, I would say, is closer to their Tuscan sun color. Okay. And then light lemon. Guess we're gonna have to, I don't have quite the exact on this one, but I'm gonna go with the sapphire yellow. Okay, we'll see how that looks. Like I said, I'm not going to always have a perfect match here. I do have to sharpen a bit. Oh, folding towels. Gosh. So ever since I made my kids start doing their own laundry, including my 8-year-old, because she had the gall to ask for a cell phone. I was like, okay, you want a cell phone one day? Here's your laundry. But I've been making my kids do their own laundry. And then when I was working and I was traveling a lot, I never had time to do my own laundry. So I started having them do mine. And my son, being a typical, teenager, was fighting me on doing laundry because he's like, well, it's your laundry. You should do your own laundry. And I'm sitting here looking at him like, okay, well, that's my thought exactly for the last 15 years of your life. Yet, poor you, you've only done your own laundry for 2 of them. And so when he said that, I was like, okay, well, if you want to play that game, you owe me this many years, this many hours of laundry. So there you go. Once you make them up, then we're even. So he does some of our laundry now. Rule of thumb, teenagers, don't open your mouths and question your parents. Yeah, cell phone at 8. I thought that was pretty funny, but we figured if we gave her a bunch of chores, she wouldn't do them because she's just, that's how she's always been. And then she's been doing them. So I'm like, oh crap. It's backfiring. Hi, Connie. But yeah, my son is at that wonderful teenage age right now where you're just like, just got to make it through this little bump in the road. That's all it is. That teenage angst or whatever you want to call it. We're just like, who are you? All right. Kind of using a combo between these. And then my son has a girlfriend. That's freaking me out. I don't know why. I knew it would happen one day, but still, I'm like, I'm not ready for this. So I'm making my husband deal with it. Like, I can't do this. Nope. And I don't like his girlfriend, and it's not just because I'm the mother. I just don't like her. I'm not going to be that mom that doesn't like every girlfriend. Or maybe I will be. I don't know. So she has a phone watch. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen those phone watches, but she has the phone watch and it has GPS and all that stuff. It actually works just fine, just like a cell phone. It's just a watch. Pretty snazzy. Honestly, I wish I could do everything from my watch and not have to pull out my freaking phone. But yeah, she has one of those right now. No, Marilyn, I'm not traveling anymore because I'm no longer working anymore. So my days of travel are now over, which is why now you see me actually posting on YouTube and Instagram. Oh my gosh, I posted to every single one of my Instagram channels yesterday. I was so proud of myself. I even made a reel. So I was like, look at me. That was my accomplishment of the day. Okay. Do kind of want, debating on the wings. Let's do this. Okay. Yeah, these are really smooth when they go down. I know I've said that before, but I'm just kind of repeating it because they are very smooth. And since I don't like the regular Artezas, these are actually a nice little breath of fresh air. I might try coloring a whole page with these dry and see how it turns out. Just, because I use my Albrecht Dürers dry sometimes. It'd be fun to play around with it. It wasn't really an announcement. I just casually said I no longer work. I guess I could announce it. But yeah, I have not worked since last Thursday. Not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before it. So I am now just working on my Etsy and working on my novel. It's kind of crazy when you don't have a job, and because I've always been working on my novel, but now I'm like, oh, okay, well, you know, it could be 8 o'clock at night on a Monday and I get the urge to work on my novel. I can do that because I can stay up till 2 a.m. and work on my novel because I don't have a meeting in the morning. It's kind of nice, especially for the creative standpoint of it, I guess I should say. I'm going to come back because I haven't decided how I want to do those yet. Hi, Jessica. Yeah, so like the phone watch she has is controlled completely by our app. And so it's kind of similar. She can only call the contacts that we have approved on it. Her best friend actually has a more advanced one that's pretty cool because it can even receive like picture text, but again, only from those who are approved on the list. So I offered that one to her. So I was like, hey, this would be cool. She's not getting a phone like right away, despite what she hopes and dreams. I was like, no, I'm putting my foot down on that one. But we may upgrade her to the other watch one because she really just wants to like be able to take pictures and send them. She sends them from her tablet. It's really cute. I'll just be sitting there and get a random picture from her. So it's cute. And then she does have some friends on her phone watch that, again, are on like the approved list, so she can call them. This one for Castle Art wasn't scratchy to put down, but the other colors have been. But this is also a lighter color, so only going to give it so much credit there. Okay. I have to keep remembering which color I used on what side. All right, and then this one. I think I got these colors to match up pretty close. There's going to be a few, like I can already tell one of the yellows might be a little bit brighter, but we'll see. Yeah, these ones are laying down smooth, but again, lighter colors. The orange is scratchy, but the two yellows are not. All right. Yeah, she just likes to send pictures. I mean, it's the pictures are hilarious. She'll just send a picture of like the dog doing something random or funny little selfie she takes. I mean, they are really, really cute. I had to change how it stores the data though, because she kept filling up, because it's tied to my parental account, so it's tied to my Gmail. So I kept getting notices that my Gmail was full and I wasn't going to get any emails. And I'm like, wait, what? And it was because it was all every video, random video she would take backs up to my drive, because I have it for my phone set that way. So I had to turn it off on her tablet because, yeah, all those random pictures and videos were eaten away there. But they're really cute. Kids can be so funny. I take a drink of water. Whoa. Nothing like trying to operate a lid on a water bottle. I seem happier. I guess you could say I am happier because I definitely did not enjoy the job I was working at all. There was not much job satisfaction. They paid really well, but paycheck only goes so far, right? And also loathed the fact that every day I had meetings, endless meetings, never-ending meetings. Oh my gosh, so many meetings. I've never been a meeting person or a fan of meetings. I feel like it can be summed up in a memo or an email, or even send me a quick 5-minute voice note. Problem solved. We don't need a 20-minute, 1-hour meeting thing going on here. So yeah, there wasn't much job satisfaction, but also I just loathed Mondays for the fact that I had to work. So my husband and I had a very long talk, and he said he doesn't think I should work for anybody. He thinks I work better for myself and wants me to just focus on finding something for myself. So we're going to do that for a little while and see how it goes. All right. We'll say they're black in the set of Castle Arts. It's kind of not really black, so the black I had to pick from Arteza isn't either, so that I could make a match. Because Arteza has actually a really good black, 2 of them, but when it comes to Castle Art, like they're black, and it's like a dark gray. So that's why this isn't really black over here. It's more gray. Oh, I forgot to add my little thing of orange. Oh, let's see. Yeah, not working is great for creativity, but bills and all that crap that come with adulthood, not so much. Oh my gosh, I about died because my one daughter got really sick, and she just started a new season for dance, and she's doing all of the routines this year. Because last year she couldn't, since she got started late from her whole broken arm thing. So she's doing all the routines, so she has very long days. Mondays and Wednesdays she's there from 4:30 now to 8:30. They had to extend it and add another class called Technique. I'm like, well, what is the technique we're doing today? But she's doing all this dance, and she got really sick, and she ended up missing 2 weeks. And so now she's struggling to catch up from just 2 weeks. But we had to go buy this compound medicine they prescribed her. And I don't know if any of you guys have ever used into compound medications, but basically she was really sick to her stomach, so she couldn't keep anything down. And at first we just thought she accidentally ate gluten because she is celiac, and she went on a girls' camp, and I thought maybe there was like some contamination, but then she had a fever and stuff, so it turned out she was actually sick. But she was really sick to her stomach and just couldn't keep anything down for a week. And so instead of doing like the Zofran that dissolves under the tongue, they have Phenergan, which is what I take when I get nauseous. But it goes on your wrist. Like you put it on your wrist and you just like rub it in. And so you're not as tired. But then it kicks in right away. And then because it doesn't have to go through your tummy, you don't get... It doesn't matter if you get sick to your stomach again. But it was almost impossible to track down that freaking medicine. Only so many pharmacies carried it, and then they all, like, insurance doesn't cover it. So I was like, oh, for Pete's sake. Yes, coloring hair with Arctics is about as fun as doing it with Prismas. Yeah, I don't do hair with Prismas often. I do it if someone begs nicely, and even then I'm like, do I want to do these? No, I want to do these colorful. But yeah, I don't tend to do Prisma hair, and I definitely don't enjoy Arctics for hair. Too much wax bloom off the Arctics. I can't get my layers and textures before it just gets all gross. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been the biggest fan of Artix pencils though. I did put out like a little poll seeing if people wanted tutorials with Artix, but a lot of people don't use them, so I was kind of surprised. I thought they were more popular. Okay. In fact, Artix reached out to me asking me if I wanted to do something with their pencils. And I was like, can I do something with your markers? I'm down to try your markers. Also, didn't you see like my review? I'm not really a fan. So I think I'm going to do some work with them on their markers. In fact, I need to get back to them. Like I said, had a little problem with my inbox, and then I need to catch up. Okay. Yeah, insurance doesn't cover them. I asked why, because I was just curious, but I guess it's because of all of the extras that they add in on top of it being the medications. They won't cover it. However, what was cool about this one, because at first I was like, oh great, I just lost my job and here I am going to have to go buy an expensive medication insurance doesn't cover. But the manufacturer of this one actually offered like a really big discount. So her compound medicine was still only $10. Probably cheaper than my copay would have been. So that was lucky. But yeah, it was but the problem is there was 5 pharmacies that carried it, and I had to keep going through the list, and they were like, no, we don't have it, we can send out for it. And I was like, yeah, she's kind of like throwing up and needs it now. So I finally, I think it was the 4th out of the 5 on the list, and they had it. And of course, they were the furthest away. So I had to drive out there and pick up her meds, but it worked great. So it did its job, and she's all better now. And what sucks is we kept taking her in because we were trying to figure out why she was still so sick. And I thought for sure it was strep or something, and they even thought it was strep. And so they did the test and it was negative, and then she was still sick. We went back in and they're like, well, let's test her again. And it was still negative. They started doing x-rays for her stomach, and yeah, it's just going to stay a mystery because nobody knows what the heck it was she got. She's better now though. Let's see, what color should we do? Debating if I want to add a little bit. Oh, I should probably keep that centered. Yes, they have been sending a lot of their stuff. However, if anyone's watched my channel long enough, they know that I have no problem being honest about a freebie. So I always tell companies, which is often why they don't reply back and ever use me, is that, if I don't like your product and I do a review, I'm going to be honest. However, I have had some that have surprised me and they're like, no, go ahead. So I'm like, sweet. I actually then appreciate those companies because then it tells me that they want like actual reviews out there and not just, curated opinions. That's how we'll word it. That's a gentle way to word it. I want to work on these flowers, I think. I want them pink. Pink, pink, pink. So I'm going to grab, let's try this cadmium red color. Oh, I wish I would have put these in order. Where's this cadmium red hiding? Okay. Because it's very pinky. They're cadmium red. And then I think I'll do this grenadine. It looks like it would be all right. And I'll grab that peachy color we had before. Yep, perfect. I just need to get similar colors over here. So I'd say their crimson is the closest. Crimson. With all these colors, I could probably create a comparison substitute chart when I'm done one day, if I'm bored enough. That being the keyword. Maybe peony. That's probably the closest I'm going to get. Or watermelon. No, let's do peony. Okay, and then where'd my peachy color go for that one? There it is. Sorry if I missed some of the conversation. I was deep in color chart comparison. It would be kind of fun. I will never make a pencil conversion chart, colored pencil conversion chart, because Karen from My Colorful Country Life has done it so well that no one else needs to bother. But I have thought of sometimes creating one for all these watercolor pencils I have. Because I was like, that'd be kind of fun. But at the same time, I don't know. That may not be. We're going to try something different with how I put the color down here. And you can activate these with a clear Tombow colorless blender if you want. You can do that with your watercolor pencils. You could use an alcohol-based one, but it doesn't look as well. I would just stick with the Tombow or any sort of water-based. You can also just use a regular brush dipped into water, you know, the good old-fashioned way. But I have activated these with like Tombows and stuff before. It's fun. I rarely use my Tombows with my ink tints. I tend to prefer an alcohol marker or just a water brush. All right. Not quite sure how I want to do the centers yet. Maybe what I'll do is just gonna drag my peach out. So has anyone read any good books lately? I've been like blowing through books like crazy. I need some more book recommendations. I've been going on Reddit groups and that's been like my life lately, just reading all the books that they recommend. I am staying away from book talk because I don't know what happened there, but goodness gracious. The things that get recommended or that are highly rated, I go to read and I'm like, what? Why? Why was this even on here? This is horrible. It's almost like people recommend things as a joke. Maybe they do and I just am not getting the joke, but I need some more books to read. Silverleaf resent email. Oh, okay. I'll check today for sure. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, my email got a little screwy, but between Etsy and all that, but now I'm getting through my emails. I'll check them today, if not tomorrow. I have to finish photographing the limited edition box that releases tomorrow. Already had a few people message me asking to make sure that the box was going to release. It's cute. I love it. Like, there's going to be a box, right? I'm like, yep. every month, 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. It used to be 7, but I pushed it to 8 a few months ago because I was like, last minute changes and stuff. So, but yeah, if you're waiting for the limited edition box, it will come out at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I did increase the number of boxes this month. I used to do 30. However, they've been selling out too quickly. The last few months have sold out in less than a day. So I did increase it. So hopefully people have a little bit longer. I don't know how much longer, but I guess this will be a good test run. And then I might keep increasing it because I feel bad because I've had quite a few people that keep missing out. So I just don't want to have too many in stock. Otherwise, it's not really limited edition after that. So as it grows, I'll keep increasing it slowly. Okay. The colors look pretty close dry. I'll be curious how they look once they activate, though. Oh, thanks, Kelly. The boxes are fun. I have fun. And then I've been working with shimmering canvases and, creations by LAP, and we all collaborate to add some unique fun stuff to the boxes. So that's been pretty cool. I don't know if you guys buy diamond painting trays, but LAP is a hoot. Like, I tell her my theme, and she just goes to town, like, finding these crazy color ideas. And I'm just like, because there's times I'll be like, okay, here's my theme. Here's what I got so far. I have no idea what color I want to do the tray. And she's like, don't worry, I got you. And she'll just come back with the coolest ideas. Like the pastel one she made with the whole ombre, and like it looked like a freaking Easter egg. It was gorgeous. I loved it. That was all her idea. I was just like, I want pastels. That's all I gave her. So she's really talented when it comes to that. But she's been awesome to work with. And then I had only recently started working with shimmering canvases, but they've been pretty fun too. All right. May end up doing another coat on these after they dry, just to get some of the certain colors out, but we'll see. Serpent and Wings of the Night. Oh, is that Serpent and Wings of the Night? Is that the Nyaxia series or whatever it's called? It's like a series. I think I got that one on Audible, when they had that Audible sale going. If that's the one I'm thinking of. I did purchase the Audible book for the first book. I bought a few books, and I was like, I hope these are good. Because sometimes the book can be great, but the Audible is just, because I have a few books I read, and I was like, oh, these are great. And then I went to listen to the audio version because I wanted to diamond paint or something. And I'm like, oh my God, this narrator has killed this book. So yeah, there's some books you just can't listen to. But the Audible sale, I couldn't resist, even though I had some credits saved. Like, they had some really good books for like $4. Like big titles books. Which one did you like, Erica? The Serpent and Wings of the Night one? Is that the series one? There's like a snake on the cover, blue something. It's like, and then it's like something Nyaxia. I don't know. Is that right? Okay, that's the one. Then I bought that. I bought the first book during the Audible sale. Is the Audible version any good? I think I bought the Kindle book too, but I may have only bought the Audible. I can't remember now. But I'm like, oh, I hope this is good. Like I always listen to the testers. You know, you can like do a little quick trial. It gives you like what, 5 minutes. Ooh, how am I gonna split this? All right, we're gonna just split it down the middle. But I swear it's never enough because then something will pop up and you're like, oh, gross. That sounds awful. Really? Unless they're in a duet? See, and I need it to be, most of the time I like mine in just one, because there was one series I was really getting into, but the male narrator, when he would do like the female's voice, oh my gosh, it was horrible. What was it called? Like I had to switch back to the books because I was dying. And there's a really good friend of mine. He's really into reading fantasy and stuff like me. And so I was like, and he likes to listen to the Audible ones too, because we're both the same. Like we want to do something else while we're listening to it. And I was like, all right, listen to this and tell me. And he was like, oh, this is horrible. But like the way the guy did the female voices, I'm like, how did you get paid for this? And why are people still buying this? Like, I still get chills up my spine. Ooh, yeah. Like I said, there's some narrators that can seriously kill a book. All right, I guess this is halfway here. This one's more all the way over here. Kind of doing the Arteza side. Oh, Crowns of Nyaxia, yeah. So I do have the first book. So I guess I'll read that one if we've got two people that said it's good. I'm gonna try it. Did either of you read the other books in the series? Because it's got like 3 books, doesn't it? I think it has 3. I read all of Harry Potter. My son actually was really into Harry Potter when he was younger. And so he got and then my brother-in-law is a big Harry Potter fan, so he bought my son a huge collector's edition. But yeah, so read all the Harry Potters, and we have the collector's edition now. The joke was my brother-in-law looks like Harry Potter. No joke, he really does. So that was kind of the thing. But so I've read all the Harry Potter books. I somehow got sucked into watching all the movies. You read the entire series and the short stories and liked them? Ooh, good to know. Good to know. Hi, GNB, if I said that right. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Do I like historical fiction? Kind of depends. Like, are we talking in the realms of like Outlander? I enjoyed that. I read the Outlander series. Way better than the show. Just saying. But I guess it depends on what the historical fiction is. I've been really on a big fantasy kick these days. I just got through The Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I guess the next book for that comes out supposedly in December. So curious on that one. Those weren't too bad. And the Audible versions were good too. Except sometimes the narrator seemed like she was a little bored and snarky, but she was also basically imitating like a teenager or a 20-year-old girl. I don't know. She's really young. So not really young, but young. Younger than me. There we go. But yeah, when it comes to historical fiction, I guess it just kind of depends on what we're talking about. I did get into the Outlander stuff, though. Holy crap, I can't believe how many books are in that series. I didn't read them all, but I got, to the 4th? So yeah, not bad, not bad. The TV show is okay. It was just, once you read the books, you're like, I already know what's going to happen. This isn't going to work for me. The whole time travel thing was pretty cool, though. Oh, yeah. So those aren't too bad. Definitely almost want my peach color to be a little bit more peachy. Against the blue and the purples, it stood out more, but it's just a little bit too light for this, this pink here. Trying not to blend the two brands because we are literally splitting this one petal in half. Get too hyper focused while I'm activating, but it's because I don't want to leave streaks or lines. Technically, a watercolor pencil can reactivate, but it just doesn't very well. Especially in a coloring book, like where it's just sucking right into the paper here. All right, so here's what we got so far in our 50-50 thing. We've got our Castle Arts on this side, yeah, that was wet when my finger touched it, but it didn't smear. Arteza on this side. They're actually pretty close to one another. I mean, like, one thing I would do, though, granted, I'm comparing these, like, as they're activated, but what I would normally do is go back with the dry pencil and add in some shading, and give it a little bit more, pop and whatnot, because right now it's kind of like, well, all right. But for the sake of just activating them and kind of comparing them, but I think I got the colors pretty well matched between the two brands, except this set of leaves. I was a little off there, but they just didn't have a green quite there. So that's a bummer, but yeah, not bad so far. The only thing, the biggest differences is they both, other than, I have fewer colors of one brand. It's really just the laydown. The Arteza lay down a lot nicer and are really smooth, whereas the Castle Arts are super scratchy. But other than that, they dissolve really well. And like, even when I've got similar colors, you can barely even tell the difference. They look like the same brand. So far, pretty good. But, I have to finish the whole page, and then I'll be working on my battle review this week. So, yeah, not too bad. Color-wise, we'll go from there. But look out this week for my actual battle review. I have some battle reviews already on my channel if you want to see what those are about or what they look like and get an idea. I do have the watercolor crayon battle done and finished, so that's on my channel already. And then, I'm just going to finish this page later today while I'm relaxing and listening to an audiobook. But I'm going to head off because it's been 2 hours. But thanks for hanging out with me, everyone. And I hope you guys have a really good rest of your Sunday and a good week. Oh, and a good 4th of July if you, in fact, celebrate that or do anything for that. And yeah, until next time, take care. Bye.